Today I thought we'll just do a quick little install guide on how to install the new shift boot collar. And I thought I'd just very quickly and easily show everyone how to remove the center console, because you do need to remove the center console to swap this out. Luckily, it's a very, very easy job. It only takes about 5 minutes. You only need some very simple tools. The first thing you got to do is grab your trim removal tool, and you want to just poke it into here. So I've got the center console, the carbon center console, so I'm going to be very, very careful when doing this. But what you want to do is basically just poke the corner into here and then just give it a little twist. It should just pop up. Simply just work your way around, being very careful not to damage anything. And then eventually you'll get to a point where you can just kind of pull it up and it should come up pretty easily from there. That is the trim popped out. There's two little clips under here for the drive mode and the handbrake. Pull it out from here. And then you've got another one at the back. Pop that out. Very nice and easy. Now, normally from factory, there's actually a cable tie here. So if you bring the gear boot as high up as you can, where I've got this electrical tape, normally there's actually a cable tie from factory. So I've cut this beforehand when I was doing this earlier, but simply snip the cable tie and then should allow you to just pull the boot up. So this is the trickiest part, which is removing the collar. So what you want to do is expose this part here, right? And you want to get your little pick or tiny little Allen key or something like that. What you want to do is this flat section here, you want to actually reach in behind it with a very small tool and lever it outwards, and that allows you to then slip the collar down off the 14mm nut just here. Simple as that. So the next step from here is you can drop this down again. You've now got your 14mm nut exposed, holding the gear knob on. Grab the spanner and you can just crack that and you can spin the gear knob off. And that's it, gear knob removed. From there, center console comes out. You can remove the factory nut and collar like so. So nut comes off, collar comes off, put those away. All right, so the next step here is we want to actually install the new collar into the factory shift boot. So there's a few collars on the market, and one thing with the Type R is the actual dimension of the boot is quite a bit larger than the dimension of the collar here. So we just want to space it out with something. So what these come with is just a little bit of rubber, and this you can just simply wrap around the collar here like so, and this just gives it a little bit extra thickness for the shift boot here. So next step is you want to decide whether you want the flat surface or the angled surface, and this just depends on the dimension of your gear knob. So I'm just going to be reinstalling the factory gear knob, and the factory gear knob is most similar to the flat surface here. But if you have a thinner gear knob, you can use this side as well. So so I want this side to be facing upwards, basically. So what we'll do, get the collar, get the gear knob. You want to have this facing inwards like this when you put this in. Make sure that the side you want upwards goes in on top when you put it in. Pop it through like so. And then what you want to do is grab these little rubber bands that all come included with the kit, and you can just slide these over, and this keeps it nice and secure. Once that's all in there, seated nicely, looking good, the next step is we can simply just place the center console back into place. So plug in all the plugs, pop that like that, just sit this like this for now. We don't need to clip it all in. So this will just sit down here like this. And then you've got two little options when it comes to the locking nut. So if your gear knob does not have a flat bottom, you can use the countersunk version, but in this case, we're just going to use the regular version. So both these are included. This screws on, like so. Get your gear knob, reinstall, make sure your gear shift pattern is correct, tighten the locking ring, and then simply bring the collar up, gear it click into place, and then you just click everything in and you're all done. Easy as that.